Hey everybody. So today's video is about a sunset picture that was taken in the Needles district of Canyonlands. And I wanted to do a little bit of an introduction explaining kind of how I got here and why I picked this place to take a picture from. Oh my god. Okay, sorry about that. I'm using my camera and a Pokemon Stadium cardboard box to hold my audio recorder up near my camera so that I can do the mic in. And I don't have a long cable, so it's like really kind of unstable, and the face I just made, it just like fell and I had to catch it. Anyway, back to the sunset picture in Canyonlands. So how did I find this place? So to be honest, I showed up in the Needles district and I was still injured, and it was also still very hot in southern Utah. Makes sense, I was there in August, right? So the first thing I did was I went to the visitor center in the Needles district and I talked to the rangers there, and I just said, here's where my body's at right now. I like to go on hikes in decent shape. I'm just wondering what I can do that's, a shorter hike, a longer hike, etc., etc. So I specifically asked what would be a good, relatively short hike to do the day I arrived that allowed me to see a bunch of the features of Needles, because Needles, even though it's the same park as Island in the Sky, it's all in Canyonlands, Needles looks really different. So they had a few suggestions, and I took their advice and I started driving out towards the vista places that they talked about. Unfortunately, I got started too late in the day to actually do any of these hikes. I kind of realized that, by the time I parked and actually got out there, when I found a nice place to take a picture from, I don't think I would have been able to catch sunset. So I kind of just took it easy that day and I just drove around to a bunch of different places. And I ended up finding this like really interesting viewpoint at a dead end / a cul-de-sac that was on the same road as some of the hikes that they recommended. And something that drew my eye towards this particular spot, as you'll see in the video soon, is that you could see a bunch of different heights and layers in the rock formations. So very close up, you can look down into this little canyon, and then in the mid-ground you've got some like pretty tall hoodoos, and then way in the background you can actually see a bunch of mesas that are like 1,000 feet higher. And to me, I thought it was really interesting because you could really see like a 3D effect from being in this one particular spot. So I like that a lot, and that's what drew me here. That's why I stopped, set up my tripod, etc., etc. So yeah, let's go ahead and see what I got. Okay, so now I'm in the Needles part of Canyonlands. I found this cool sunset spot that, well, I think it's cool because you can actually see like deep into a canyon, and at the same time you get that. It's actually really hard. That mesa that's sticking out, which I think is part of the Islands in the Sky district, but that one's all alone. Islands in the Sky might be over there. What you may not be able to tell is that the sun is setting, and it's starting to light up a number of the Needles like formations like golden. So I'm going to try to take more pictures here and see what happens. I'm pretty happy. So a little bad news. Right after I recorded the previous thing where I was saying that the light went gold on those ridges over there, a cloud came and obscured it, so all the light went away. But I still got like really pretty color over there. And even though this whole area was in shadow, like I think it actually looks pretty good. But I'll check it out on a computer. We'll see. There's a lot of purple. There's a lot of orange. Like, yeah, it looked really pretty to look at, but hopefully the pictures come out okay. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pack up and head back to camp, and I think that's it for the day. All right, talk to you later. Right. Now that we're done shooting, my battery's about to run out, so let's try to make this fast. One thing I wanted to point out is that a lot of photography is really all about luck. So photography involves being in the right place at the right time and having good luck, and essentially making your own luck by being in the right place and at the right time. Notice in the video the clouds came in and actually obscured the true sunset. And I didn't like that it deprived me of the rim light on that rock face that's on the far right. I would have liked that to be lit up, but you know, those clouds also allowed for really nice color in the sky, and also gave some texture and something to look at in the sky. Otherwise, it would have just been blue or orange gradient to blue. And to be honest, I actually came back to the same exact spot the next day, and I wanted to include that footage in this video, but the storms rolled in that day, and it was so, the video quality I got was so bad. It was way too cloudy. The wind was incredibly strong, so you couldn't hear anything at all when I was talking. And I think like later that night, there were actually like huge thunderstorms rolling through Canyonlands. So I may put up like a blooper video to show what it looked like, but yeah. So luck doesn't just determine your landscape and your lighting, it also can influence, you know, what you see in the frame. In this case, there were actually 3 hikers in this picture that I saw when I was there. So I got very lucky. I'm reading my notes right now. I got very lucky for this picture because those hikers didn't really do anything distracting while they were here in frame. They just climbed up over the hoodoo and started watching the sunset by themselves. I got really lucky too because they weren't moving around a whole lot. They either, I think there's like one guy out of the group who like kept climbing up and then climbing back down, or hiking up and hiking back down. He had a lot of energy or something, but it wasn't that bad. He either ended up out of frame or easily clonable out of the picture. So I got, in this case, got really lucky because there's one person who kept really still when he was watching the sunset, and he actually provided like a really good perspective of how big this whole landscape is. I thought that really made the picture. I think without those 3 hikers there, it's not that interesting because you can't see how big this place is. I can tell you, I can tell you these things are so far up, but without seeing that, like, the little tiny figure of the person there for yourself, you don't realize, like, wow, this place is really cool, really big. It makes people look, we really are kind of insignificant compared to these really beautiful landscapes. So to me, I thought that was very lucky because they could have also been doing random stuff in a part of the frame that it wouldn't look as good. Here, that one guy is kind of nicely silhouetted against the, or not silhouetted, but he's backlit by the sunset, so you can, I don't know, I think it looks nice. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you would have done something different. Let me know in the comments, or just send an email or something. I'm interested in hearing what people have to say. But yeah, with that, I hope you have a nice day. Talk to you later. Bye.